Houston Community College recently held their first Living History Day inspired by the Western Civilization class of Professor Lori Latola. She reflects on the event and why she feels it's important to have.
Well, this is our first Living History Day, and it was inspired by my Western Civ 2 students. I wanted to give them something fun to do, so they're going to be turning up in a little while dressed up as various characters from European history from 1500 to about 1950. And then I started thinking about how to make it more fun and engaging for them, and one thing sort of led to another. So we have all these wonderful reenactors and people from the community who have volunteered to come down here and participate. It's important because I think it helps them to identify more with history, because for a lot of people, history consists of a bunch of dead people in a book, and you can't relate. Where if it's living history, it helps you to understand and relate more to your own ancestors, to events that, while they happen in the past, are also somewhat current.
James Reed Faulkner, a representative of the Buffalo Soldier National Museum of Houston and a volunteer of Living History Day, gives his thoughts on the event.
Well, the Living History Festival, I suppose, is to give a diverse image of history, United States history, and so the Buffalo Soldiers are a very important part of taming the West. In fact, if it wasn't for the Buffalo Soldiers, it would probably be another 50 years before the West was really tamed. I mean, they sent the Buffalo Soldiers here for the main purpose of quelling the Indian uprising and also dealing with all the crime that was going on, especially here in Texas. There were a lot of men in the West that probably were not noted because of their race. So, and good and bad. I mean, and you had people that crossed the line like Deadwood Dick, who they weren't sure if he was a bandit or a good guy. He did a lot of good things, but then sometimes they said, okay, did he rob that bank? You know, that type of thing. So you had all types of characters in the West, and we just want people to know that there was a diverse array of colors that was going on in the West, and the reason that the West was tamed was basically because of the 9th and 10th Cavalry, the 24th and 25th Infantries.
Jana Wesley, volunteer from the Washington on the Brazos State Park, details her part in Living History Day.
Well, I'm actually discussing period fashion, giving people an idea of how they would have dressed in the 1830s, about the same time of Texas independence. It was definitely a process, several different layers involved, and it's completely different today, completely different on how we dress today. I actually think it's vital that they understand how the fashion has progressed, the importance back then of how there was function. It was fashionable, but they was mostly in function. Everything had a purpose. We can't imagine, everyone asks me, well, aren't you hot? But if you go out and you work in this, you understand that as you sweat, the clothes get damp and the breeze actually helps cool you off. In addition, you want to protect your skin. It was very important, not just so much from the sun, but when you're working outside and you're working in, especially like a branchy, a scrub, you're going to get scratched up. So people always ask about the long sleeves and the long pants, but it was necessary.
Amber Tunstall, student volunteer of Living History Day, explains her participation in the event and why it's significant in history.
Well, it started off that I would just wear very interesting, very old, very different outfits to class all the time, and my professor who's running the event said, hey, why don't you bring all your clothes and display them for everybody at the history event? And I said, sure. So I got them all together, ended up being a lot more than I thought, and now I'm giving history lessons on everybody about Coco Chanel and the history of fashion. There are a lot of reasons, especially for women. A lot of it has to do with rights. Back in the Victorian days, it was very restraining that women didn't have as much freedoms because they were restrained, even physically, by their corsets, by their stiff collars. Having freer clothes that are easier to breathe in, it made it so much more accessible for women. Being able to wear pants just made the world open up for women. And so it's very much political, just the same as comfort. Some people did not know about it. They didn't understand the importance of it. They just thought clothes are clothes. Yeah, they've changed over the years. Some people have noticed the trends and they thought it was way cool to see how it repeats itself and to understand exactly why or how important it is. And then there are others that when I start talking about cocoa, they go, oh yes, I understand.
For more information on events at Houston Community College, visit the school's website at www.hccs.edu. For HCC Beat, I'm Byron Benjamin.